In this unit for acrylic painting, you are going to learn how to use the right amount of paint, the right amount of water, how to blend colors, and how to actually mix colors that look like the colors that you have in your head. Follow along with me and I'll show you how to do everything. Let's start out by making our paint palettes. We are going to use one of the styrofoam trays on the back counter, and you are going to get a wet paper towel and put it inside of your styrofoam tray so it's nice and flat and it fits inside. Next, find the wax paper at the back counter and fit it also inside of your tray. You might have to fold it or cut it a little bit so that it fits inside. It needs to fit inside so that you can put saran wrap on top of the tray. The next thing you're going to do is get your paint. The paint is organized by warm and cool colors, and it is also on the back counter. There is a warm version and a cool version of each primary color: blue, red, and yellow, as well as white. We will bring black into the paint, but we're not going to do that just yet. I will have a list of which paints are warm and which paints are cool at the end of this so you can see exactly where you need to put them. If you can see from the video, you only need a little bit of paint. Think about the end of your thumb. You can always get more, but it's really hard to put back. If your paint gets dry, even though it's wrapped up, all you do is you take out the wax paper and throw it away. I always keep my warm colors on one side and my cool colors on the other side with white in the middle so I can mix them a little bit. You'll also see that when you mix, for example, the warm blue and the cool blue together in equal parts, you will get a blue that is very neutral. Same with the red and the yellow. Add a little bit more white than the other colors because you will be using a lot of it. One thing about these colors is that they are fairly inexpensive, so they tend to be kind of see-through. We'll use the more expensive paint later in the year, but if you add a little touch of white to each of your colors, you'll find that it makes them a little bit more opaque and brightens them up a bit. What you are going to be doing is you are going to make a value scale with any color that blends into white, and then you are going to paint each of the colors that you have so that you know what they look like, and when you're done you are going to label them. So you can see on here that these are the cool colors. This is the ultramarine, this is the magenta, this is the primary yellow, this is the phthalo, this is the fire red, and this is the chrome yellow. And then you can also make the secondary colors, and you can see on here that I've done that. I made kind of a pyramid, so all of my warm colors are here, and then I made the orange and the green and the purple, and then I made orange and green and purple with the cool colors as well. Something that's also interesting that you can do is you can mix together the two. For example, let's do the two blues. So if we take the phthalo blue and the ultramarine blue and we mix them, it's also helpful to have an extra piece of wax paper to mix additional colors on. So I'm just gonna use that. And then this gets thrown away at the end. I'm gonna mix these together. This is gonna make a perfect middle blue. So you can kind of see what that looks like. That's like a very nice blue. And then same thing with the reds and the yellows. You can make your middle primaries that way and try making secondaries with that. And it's really fun to see how many color combinations you can make. When you don't use colors straight out of the palette, you get your own individual colors. So it's kind of a middle red. Let's try the yellows. And then we have the basic yellow. So we can do that. In the next video, I am going to show you how to paint a value scale. If I'm gonna make a value scale with paint, I will choose a phthalo blue because it's nice and dark. And I'm gonna start out, and I am gonna mix a little bit of white with it. Actually, I'll do the blues together. If you mix the two blues together, you'll make a nice basic primary blue. And that's what's interesting about all of these. Like, if you take the warm version and the cool version of each color and you mix them together, you'll make a really nice middle color. So you could try that as well. I'm gonna start out with my dark blue on the side, and I'm just gonna keep this, and I'm gonna put kind of a lot of paint on it because I don't want it to dry. And then cleaning my brush, make sure to dry it really well with the rag, and then I'm gonna get white on the other side, and I just start with white on the other side, and then I'm just quick. I just blend it in and I just move really quickly. Acrylic paint is fun because you can be so fast when you paint. Oil is definitely something you can take your time on, but acrylic dries so quickly, especially on this paper. And once you learn how to paint on this paper, when you start painting on canvas paper, it will make you such a better painter. You'll be surprised. And when you start using more expensive materials, you'll be even more surprised at how good you are. You got to learn on the crappy stuff, and then when you start using the good stuff, you'll be really good. And then you can just use a damp brush with nothing on it to blend colors, but you don't want to use too much water because then it becomes just runny and it doesn't look good. It's like the right balance. Like with watercolor, you want to use a lot of water and have the right balance. With acrylic, you just want to use a touch of water. And you can do a couple layers if you need to, because sometimes this acrylic paint, it's not very expensive, so it can be a little bit see-through. So I'll show you what this looks like. So here's this. And it's just super quick. And you can always also try blending from one color to the next, which is fun. Like try doing like an orange where you do from red to yellow. The secret is just to be nice and quick. And sometimes you just have to go over it a few times and use your rag a lot. Like don't be afraid to pinch your paintbrush with your rag and really get in there. So there's that.